Hello, coming back again. Sorry for episode 8 coming out so late and not really being in the format I wanted. This episode will be the same thing, but will be on time since I'm recording Monday for tomorrow's release. So if my laptop doesn't die again, this should actually get out on time. Okay, so what I'm gonna talk about today is my upcoming interview that I'll be facing tomorrow. The reason why it's a fairly interesting interview is because it's the final stage interview in a fairly long process that I've been a part of. So about a month ago I applied for a senior Android developer role at a company called Matches Fashion. I believe the advertised salary was about 45k. The reason why I note that is because when I got a call back from the recruitment, I would say recruitment manager from Matches Fashion, she walked me through the role, wanted to know a bit about me, just a typical sort of HR call. And then she asked me what were my salary expectations, and I remembered pretty vividly that, this job advertised 45k. You know what, fuck it, I'm gonna see what I can get, because market rate for a senior Android developer is not 45k, especially considering that this is a London based company. They should be able to afford market rate. And I'm coming from doing contract, and even though I wasn't actually getting the full rate myself, the rate of my labor, the worth of my labor is not changed, and the rate of my labor was 500 a day. So when we actually tried to calculate how much that would be in terms of a salary, as an employee you never make as much anyway, but trying to make the claim that I would think I was worth at least 60k at the very minimum, but I was looking somewhere between 60 to 80, maybe 70. And she said, yeah, we could work with 70. I was like, shit, damn son. Just like that, I managed to get the bump up from 45 to 70. That's an extra 25k. So you always gotta be smart when negotiating with these people. It's not set in stone, that figure. It still ultimately depends on what happens tomorrow, and I could probably bump that up even further once I know they want me. Again, all ahead of myself. If they want me, I can bump that up. But after that call, she's like, congratulations, the team would like to interview you. So I had a pretty short call, I believe it was about 30 minutes, call with 2 of the team members. It was a nice, enjoyable call. Some interviews actually are pretty rough, where you kind of get the sense that the interviewer doesn't really know what they're talking about. I had one of those interviews and I was raging after it was done. It was an hour and a half of complete nonsense. It pissed me off so much. But these wasn't one of those interviews. It wasn't even super technical. It was just a conversation, which I feel like is one of the better approaches to doing interviews, especially for this kind of role, for senior level engineers. Asking them basic questions like, how do you do XYZ in program Z? It's just, okay, cool. I mean, that's not very interesting, and also that can spring up a lot of gotchas. It's like, haha, gotcha, you didn't know the answer to that. And well, Google's my friend, I would have just searched that up and answered that in like 20 seconds or so. Like on the job, I don't have to memorize these things, but no, it was a good call. And after that, I had to do a fairly long coding challenge. To be fair, I spent a decent amount of time on it just because I like to spend a decent amount of time on these coding challenges, like coding out the most robust solution, like almost a solution that I might be tempted to not even do for that actual job. It is top level. Just because it is a coding challenge and you can take shortcuts doesn't mean that I take any. I code to really the standard I would do on work, if not because there's less time pressure. I might even code to a slightly higher standard. With that said, I knew that it was going to be fine, that they would like it, and they're like, yeah, boom, we liked it, and now we're going to schedule the final interview, which is actually a two-parter. So the first interview will be technical and the second will be competency. So how I like to look at it is that there was an initial HR interview. I would say that was a screening call. Then there was a semi-technical interview, a coding challenge, another technical interview, and then a competency interview. So that's like 5 stages, but you get stage 4 and 5 bundled together for free, so that's alright. But yeah, that's a pretty lengthy process. I can't imagine processes getting much longer than that. Even at Google, I believe you have a screening call and then you have 5 interviews all scheduled on the same day and a final interview after all that. So it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier in terms of not having to keep on waiting and waiting for the next steps. You get a lot more of it done out of the way. But of course, getting a job at Google, very challenging. So I'm not even really doing much preparation for the role. I never really prepare for my Android development roles. That's how arrogant I am about it. But I think I'll be fine. I might do a little bit of preparation on the day. I don't really know what to prepare for, just because I think it's kind of nonsense. If you're gonna conduct a proper interview for a job at this level, there shouldn't really be anything you need to prepare for if the questions are tailored properly. Like if they ask gotcha questions everywhere, then yeah, they might get you, but if not, it doesn't really make sense. I have been asked a gotcha question on a job role I actually did end up getting, or quite a few, and you just make an educated guess, but I don't even know why they ask these questions, to be honest. It doesn't even make sense. In fact, on 2 of the 3 roles I've gotten, they asked a few gotcha questions and I just made educated guesses, and that was good enough. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I will quickly wrap up this episode of explaining a tiny weeny bit what this game is going on in the background. This game is Yandere Simulator. It is made by a YouTuber called Yandere Dev, I believe. A very creative name considering the game he's making. It's become a bit of a shitstorm on the internet because this game had potential, but the dev, as a solo dev, has tried to make his dream come through to make a successful anime sort of girl game, and he's kind of just fucked it up. He's got several personality issues and his coding ability is actually dog shit as well. And that's being a bit harsh. I might actually be a lot more critical. Maybe that's what the next episode would be. The next episode would be an update on how my interview went, if I have an update by then, and also talking a little bit about what is wrong with this dude. And the only reason I do that is because this is a pretty fun game, pretty fun sandbox sort of deal. And I just wish it was better. I just wish that it was made better, developed faster. Whenever I see potential and see it squandered, it just makes me die on the inside, which is what this game has made the community feel. Even to the point where another developer said, oh, you know what, I could probably take your concept and make a fan game that performs way better, is a lot easier to do in terms of the development because I haven't completely botched the code, and I will surpass your game in no time. And he might actually do it. We'll see though, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to episode 9, and catch you for episode 10. There may potentially be some big news if I get this role. And if I get this role, there'll be another announcement for this channel. You might not like it, but you'll find out then. Catch you later.